60 years ago, the Demon King suddenly appeared in this world. No matter how many times he was slain, the Demon King would always be reborn. Eventually, the 5 great nations developed a solution. It was flawed, but it worked. They sealed the Demon King's soul within a human, a vassal. For as long as their flesh endured, Arvium knew peace.
As the vassal of the Demon King, it is my duty to keep all evil at bay.
I wonder, what's the right choice to make? Should I fight against the vassal?
I may have been born blind, but I can see people's malice. I can tell the vassal isn't our enemy.
Don't be fooled. Faratros is speaking under the Demon King's influence. Soldiers, bring my daughter back to me.
All the troops! We shall protect the vassal!
Wait. We're fighting with the demon?
I won't allow anyone to land a finger on my sister. She is precious to me.
Sometimes, I wish I could just stop. I wish I could see the world around me, the beautiful things I've yet to experience.
She can't. The vassal lives with her inner demons, Anya. She isn't free. She never was.
Nobody should be bound to a path they've not chosen. If that's her destiny, then we'll change it. Together, we can still fight!
I can't stop now. Be obliterated by Oblumbra!
Is it day or night in your heart?
Ciao a tutti, sono Alfred Kamon.
Hello everyone, I'm Alfred Kamon from Studio Diamond, and this is the presentation of our first indie game, Path of the Midnight Sun. As you've just seen in the reveal trailer, Midnight Sun follows the story of 6 characters, whose destinies intertwine on the continent of Arvium, a land corrupted by the power of the Demon King. The gameplay is a mix between a tactical turn-based RPG, where you move your characters on a map, and a visual novel, with a rich narrative that changes based on the choices of the player. As in many visual novels, the story is told in first-person perspective. In particular, in Midnight Sun you will play from the points of view of these 3 characters. Faratros, the vassal of the Demon King. She is a strong-willed woman who has devoted her whole life to controlling the Demon King's soul sealed inside herself. She cares deeply for her people, but she secretly wishes she could just live a normal life. Sir Ornier, captain of the Holy Swords of Pelem. He departs from Pelem to investigate the vassal of the Demon King, Shiori, the prophetic priestess. She was born blind, but on the other hand, she was gifted with the power to sense malice. Because of this, she knows everyone's darkest thoughts and desires, and yet she is always ready to comfort others with a smile. When I designed these characters, my objective was to show how complex human feelings could become, and how events would affect them. and I wanted the RPG elements of the game to reflect this deep characterization. Let's take, for example, an element that is common to many RPGs: magic. Normally, you would have a certain amount of MPs to spend, but in Path to Midnight Sun, it's actually the opposite. Every character starts the battle with 0 MP, which gets slowly replenished after each turn. In this world, magic power is fleeting, produced by the body only in times of extreme danger, similar to adrenaline. Even then, it must be refined into mana by an artifact known as a mana drop. You may have noticed these droplet-shaped accessories on each character. I have a mana drop too. The mana generation process requires intense focus, and thus how effective a mana drop is depends on the user's mental state, or sanity, represented by the 3 orbs next to your character's tag. However, once danger is averted, the body stops producing magic power, and any remaining MP is lost. There is, however, an exception to this rule. At a certain point in the story, Sir Ornier will awaken the ability of his special mana drop, which in truth is the legendary Mana Crest. The Mana Crest can not only store the residual MP of its user, but also the MP of every ally next to him. Here, for example, Ornier has 10 MP left, and Shiori 23. At the end of the battle, any remaining MP is transferred to Ornier. This stockpiled mana can only be used in a battle to cast magic, but it also becomes a currency that can be spent to strengthen your team and unlock new abilities. At this point, some of you may have thought, if my character produces mana every turn, and if I keep the mana at the end of each battle, then can I just prolong the battles to get as much mana as possible, right? Well, not exactly. For every turn that passes in battle, time on the overworld moves a little forward. Spend too long fighting, and other enemies could approach, putting you in extreme danger. You'll need to balance your desire for mana with your need to control what's happening on the map. Time also affects other aspects of the game. NPCs will have a daily routine. Any food you bring with you will start to decay, and your comrades may react differently to your choices depending on the hour of the day. This kind of realism is part of the essence of Midnight Sun. My main objective when designing the world of Arvium was to create a post-apocalyptic world that had just started to recover from the Demon King's defeat 21 years earlier. I wouldn't have been able to create a world filled with so many feelings without the help of Andrea, the music composer of this project. He is a brilliant orchestra director who promised me when we were 15 that one day we would have made the soundtrack for one of my games. And here we are 10 years later achieving our dreams. Path of the Midnight Sun also features a cast of talented voice artists who gave their all to provide life to all their characters. And in the final version of the game, the party will be assisted by adjutants, secondary characters who will assist by providing additional attacks and support. This is everything I can show you of the game so far. It's still a bit different from the full concept that I have in mind, but it's what our team was able to achieve with our limited time, funds, and a lot of effort. If you liked what you've seen, please consider supporting us on Kickstarter. You'll find the link of the campaign in the video description. We'll be releasing a 2-hour demo of the game in February 2020. The final version of Path of the Midnight Sun will be available in late 2020 on Steam, and hopefully on Nintendo Switch as well. Thank you so much for following the development of Path of the Midnight Sun. I wish you all a wonderful day.
Ciao!